He started with a $100 loan. By the time he died, he was the richest man in America, worth more than $200 billion in today's money. And he didn't get there by playing nice. Cornelius Vanderbilt was born in 1794 to a poor farming family on Staten Island. By 11, he dropped out of school. By 16, he was running his own ferry boat. And by 23, he was already building an empire. People called him the Commodore, not out of respect, but because he dominated the water like a warlord. He had one rule: crush the competition. He undercut prices until rivals begged to sell. Then he bought their companies and raised prices again. No partners, no mercy, no apologies. Vanderbilt wasn't trying to make a living, he was trying to win. And the shipping industry was just the beginning. Vanderbilt didn't compete, he annihilated. In the steamboat business, he slashed ticket prices so low that passengers paid less than the cost of firewood to heat the boat. He ran his ships lean, cut deals with suppliers, and operated at a loss just to drive his enemies out. If someone blocked him from a port, he'd build a new dock. If a city taxed him too hard, he'd pull service until they begged him back. He wasn't interested in fairness, he was interested in winning. When a rival named Thomas Gibbons hired him to help break a monopoly in New York waters, Vanderbilt didn't just win the case, he helped reshape national commerce laws. He took on state governments, fought court battles, and came out richer every time. By the 1840s, Vanderbilt dominated American shipping. From coastal trade to gold rush routes in California, his steamships weren't just fast, they were unstoppable. And just when his rivals thought they understood him, he walked away from the water completely. Because Vanderbilt saw something bigger than ferries and steam. He saw iron rails and a new empire waiting to be claimed. Vanderbilt didn't retire, he reinvented. In his 60s, he walked away from shipping and set his sights on something even bigger: railroads. And like before, he didn't enter quietly. He started buying up stock in key rail lines, quietly, strategically, until he had enough control to dictate terms. His moves weren't just business decisions, they were calculated takedowns. When one railroad refused to sell, Vanderbilt retaliated. He ordered his trains to stop delivering passengers and freight. Within days, their revenue collapsed. Their stock plummeted. They begged to sell. He didn't negotiate. He absorbed them. He merged companies. He dismantled rivals. He built a single unstoppable force and positioned himself at the gateway to New York City. If you wanted to trade in the most important market in America, you had to go through Vanderbilt. He also battled Wall Street manipulators. When they tried to dilute his shares, he bought every share they printed, then turned around and crushed them with their own tactics. By the 1870s, he controlled more than 4,500 miles of railroad, more than any other man in America. But Vanderbilt didn't build for stability. He built for total control. By the time Cornelius Vanderbilt died in 1877, he was worth over $100 million more than $200 billion in today's dollars. He had no formal education, no partners, no apologies. But he had something no one could take from him: power. He didn't build hospitals. He didn't endow libraries. His name wasn't whispered in reverence. It was said with fear. He wasn't loved. He was obeyed. And yet, his legacy is impossible to ignore. Vanderbilt proved that brute force could build an empire. That monopolies weren't a threat to the system, they were the system. He set the blueprint for ruthless growth, followed by Rockefeller, Carnegie, Morgan, and every titan after. He also helped create the backlash. Laws were passed to limit corporate power because of him. The term robber baron was born from the shadow of his tactics. He turned American capitalism into a battlefield, and everyone else into soldiers or casualties. His family fought bitterly over his empire. His children sued for more. But the routes he built, the strategies he used, they still shape the economy today. Every CEO who plays hardball owes something to Vanderbilt. Every hostile takeover echoes his strategy. Because Cornelius Vanderbilt didn't just dominate his rivals, he redefined what it means to win in business. And in doing so, he became the most brutal businessman in history. Cornelius Vanderbilt wasn't born into wealth. He didn't charm investors or rely on goodwill. He fought, he threatened, he outplayed, outlasted, and outmaneuvered everyone in his path. He didn't just win, he made sure everyone else lost. And in doing so, he built more than just an empire. He built a philosophy: dominate or be dominated. Outwork, outthink, outfight, and never, ever back down. That mindset lives on today. In boardrooms, in hostile takeovers, in the cold strategies of modern billionaires, Vanderbilt never apologized for being brutal. He believed it was necessary. And history? It didn't punish him for it. It rewarded him. So here's the question. Is that kind of legacy worth it? If you were in his shoes, would you build the empire even if it meant burning bridges, crushing rivals, and becoming the villain in someone else's story? Let me know what you think. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Was Cornelius Vanderbilt a genius of American business? Or a symbol of everything wrong with it? We've got more stories like this, coming: ruthless legends, untold empires, and the strategies behind the richest minds in history. Hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next one.